A mysterious sleep virus has suddenly swept through the city. It kills people in their sleep as soon as they fall asleep. This man was horrified to find all his sleeping companions had died in mysterious ways. He rushed his friends to the hospital, only to find the hospital overflowing in the middle of the night. The hospital was full of patients who had died in their sleep. The nurse told them that the number of patients had increased dramatically tonight. The attending doctor's phones are unanswered, so the medical staff is very scarce today. They had to wait in the lounge like all the other families. But it wasn't long before Matt realized something was wrong. The neighboring patient's family was too sleepy and fell asleep. The old man started foaming at the mouth and passed out on the spot. They rushed to inform the nurse of the strange situation. The nurse had a bad feeling and looked back. She realized that the sleeping head nurse had also lost her breath. They tried to call the police, but there was no answer at the police station. They planned to drive to the police station to call the police, but when they got to the street was empty at a time when they were supposed to be at work. The nurse fired a shot into the street and there was no answer. They realized with horror that anyone who fell asleep last night would simply die, and they dodged a bullet by staying up all night. Matt rushes to his girlfriend's house. He found that his girlfriend was still awake. She says she's been suffering from severe insomnia and can't sleep, but it's a good thing she took some sleeping pills earlier. Now she can finally sleep. Matt was shocked when he heard that. He took her to the bathroom and threw up everything in her stomach. Because the medicine hadn't been digested yet, the girlfriend had survived. The three of them explained to her what happened. The town was infected by an unknown virus. As soon as someone falls asleep, they won't be able to wake up, so they are not allowed to sleep now in any case. But if a normal person doesn't go to sleep for 48 hours, they will experience all kinds of dizziness and nausea. The longer it goes on, the worse it gets. If they don't sleep for a long time, they are doomed to a dead end. In order to stay awake, they came to the hospital again. The female nurse gave them all a special stimulant for the Air Force. It would keep them awake for more than 3 days. Suddenly there were screams of pain from the ward. They were surprised to find an old granny here unaffected by the virus. It turns out that the old lady is a terminal cancer patient. She couldn't sleep because of the pain all over her body. She'd been screaming all night and no doctors or nurses had come to help, and it was worse than death for her to be awake like this. The old woman's despair increased when she learned what had happened to the town. It meant that all her loved ones had left before her, so she made a big decision to take her painkillers and go to sleep. Then she asked the nurse to analyze the cause of the virus. Maybe this will help a few people survive. As the old lady was put into the testing machine, she began to drift off into a deep sleep. The nurse looked at the images of her brain and was horrified to find that before her heart stopped beating, there was a beta wave spike in the brain. This means that the real cause of her death was a dream. So everyone was killed in a dream? Jack couldn't believe it. What kind of dream could have taken so many lives? While everyone was in despair, Matt suddenly said he wanted to go to sleep because the old lady had been dreaming for exactly 3 minutes before she stopped breathing. So he planned to sleep for only 2.5 minutes, and then he's going to have his friends wake him up so that he could enter the dream and understand the context.